Greetings and salutations all, I.S. Anderson here once again, and look what I got. Ooh, yes. It's the infamous piece of glass with 15 pieces of paper with names on it. So yes, you know what that means. It's time for another Wife, Mistress, or Accident, the show where I take 3 names at random 5 times and make one of them my wife, one of them my mistress, and the third meets with a tragic and fatal accident. And today we're going to be doing superheroines. Yes, female characters from pages of DC, Marvel, maybe some independent comics. And I'm going to put, I've got 15 names in here. 15 names that all of you should recognize. And going to make each of them, 5 of them my wife, 5 of them my mistress, and 5 of them are going to meet with a tragic accident. Yes, and I realize that superheroines are going to be a lot more difficult to meet with a tragic accident than, say, Disney princesses, so I'm going to have to be a lot more creative, and some of them I might not be able to kill off, just banish to the other ends of the universe or something like that, but it should still be a pretty good time. So let's get started with round 1. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, so I'm only going to draw them out one at a time here. And we've got Scarlet Witch from the Avengers. Power Girl. And Zatanna. Okay, so between the Scarlet Witch, Power Girl, and Zatanna, which one do I marry? Which one do I make the other woman? And which one meets with the fatal accident? Okay, so marriage, I would say Zatanna. I think she would definitely be the best wife material out of all 3 of those. You know, she's got a cool personality, you know, and she's got the dark hair, blue-eyed thing going on. She can use magic, which I think is really cool. I mean, I could follow her around on our show. You know, she would be going all these different places, and I could go with her. You know, I'll just write and, you know, let her do her show. So, yeah, I think marrying Zatanna would be pretty good. And she knows Bruce Wayne. She's got rich friends. Bonus. So, and I think Scarlet Witch would have to be the other woman because she has a family that might hurt me. So, it'd probably be best just to hook up with her every now and again, and not get anything long-term because that could get really complicated, which means that Power Girl would have to meet with the fatal accident. Now, she is the most difficult to kill out of those 3. I think, you know, you would have to use some sort of kryptonite or magic against her. Zatanna, I wouldn't ask Zatanna to get involved with that, but I think blue kryptonite would be the way to go, not the green kryptonite, because with the blue kryptonite, you know, turns their powers off, but they don't really feel it. They don't know they're in danger. So lure her into a room with blue kryptonite and then suck her through a wormhole into a different dimension, something like that. I know, not too dead, but she's gone out of the picture, that's the point. And so, yeah, that's a pretty good, you know, I'll marry Zatanna, cheat on her with the Scarlet Witch, and Power Girl will be gone from the universe. Okay, cool, round 2. Okay, first we've got Starfire from Teen Titans. We've got Black Widow from the Avengers. And we've got the Queen of the Amazons, Wonder Woman. Okay, so out of those 3, Starfire would definitely be Mistress material. I don't read so much up on her, but I know that there's this weird thing where she gets to know people better just by having sex with them. So I guess, you know, she's definitely, you know, somebody who you just have sex with to get to know. So Starfire is the mistress. And marriage, I would have to say Wonder Woman. I mean, I know she's not the Queen of the Amazons, but she is probably Queen of the Superheroes. She's the most well-known female superhero, and she has a long history, and she has ties with Greek mythology, double bonus. And yes, I'm noticing a pattern that's 2 women with raven-haired and blue eyes that I've married so far. And unfortunately, that means Black Widow has to meet with the unfortunate accident, which is too bad. I really do like her, and not just in the movies. Okay, so how do I kill off Black Widow? Painful to think about. I mean, she goes on so many missions, so many wrong things could happen. I guess all I would have to do is just tip off Hydra, and I know, when she's talking to Hydra, I'll put helium in the room, and then it'll throw her voice off, and then she'll screw up her Russian accent, and then they'll recognize that she's not actually a Russian spy and not working on them for them, and they'll execute her right there. Wonder if this really matters at this point. Okay, oh, we've got Rogue from the X-Men. Got Psylocke from the X-Men. And we've got Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four. Okay, I hate to punish anybody for their powers, but Rogue would have to be the one to meet with a fatal accident. Because she definitely would not make a good wife or mistress. I mean, she'd make a good friend. She would make a good, companion as far as, being able to kick ass on a team and all that stuff. But not really good for certain things that a wife or mistress would need to do for you. Because she can't touch you or she'll kill you. Okay, so she meets with the accident. What accident could possibly kill Rogue, though? Because she's pretty hard to kill. I guess accidentally invite her to a party and Apocalypse shows up and takes her and does what he will with her, makes her into... Of course, then we've got her as one of the Four Horsemen, and that would be even worse. Send her to Asteroid M with the Fantastic Four, and they jettison her out the airlock, something like that. Wow, it is really hard to kill off these women. Now, you might be thinking that Sue Storm would be the one I would marry because she's the most loyal wife and, she knows how to raise a family and all that stuff. But I got one word for that. Namor. Yeah, those of you who follow the story know what I'm talking about, and those of you who don't, basically, Namor is this... he's Marvel's equivalent of Aquaman, I guess, and he and Sue Storm have allegedly had an affair. There is a cover with her and him on it within some sort of, embrace thing, and, he has said that, you're in love with me, I know that, and all that stuff, and there is sort of a sexual tension between them. So I figure I'll make Sue Storm my mistress too, that way she can have two lovers on the side and a whole family. Hey, great, she's got it all. Which means that I would marry Psylocke, which would be a pretty good match, I think. I wouldn't mind being married to Psylocke. I mean, she's a ninja, she can kick ass and all that stuff, and she's beautiful and all that stuff. And she's psychic, though, which means that she would know what I'm thinking all the time, though, which would gonna be a little bit... that would be a pain, yeah, having a wife that can read your mind. But still, I think Psylocke would be a good match out of those three. Okay, round 4. Okay. Oh, we've got Cassie Hack from Hack Slash. Ooh. We've got She-Hulk. And we've got Elektra from Daredevil. Okay, so believe it or not, I think I'll marry She-Hulk. Yes, I mean, she has a good job. She's a lawyer. She's financially sound. She has good principles. And yeah, she turns green, but she doesn't have to do that all of the time. I mean, she can be, a normal-looking woman most of the time. And then she turns green and goes out and fights crime. So, that's cool. As far as the mistress goes, I think Cassie Hack would definitely make the best mistress. I mean, she travels around a lot and does weird things. She certainly does dress the part, which is always good. But no, Cassie Hack would make the best mistress because she travels around a lot. She's not into emotional commitments, and she's dealing with some really deep psychological issues, but I think she's up for a good time every now and then. Which means that Elektra is the one who has to meet with the fatal accident, and fortunately she has sort of a built-in escape valve. She was killed once in the comics, so all I would have to do is just not make any efforts to really bring her back. And if she did come back on her own, I could just, hey, Bullseye, she's back, go get her, she's over there, and all that stuff. And just tip him off, and he would take care of the situation for me, which I know makes me a bastard, but hey, what's the game called? And finally, our final round. Okay, so there's only 3 left. We'll just scoop these out here. Okay, so we've got Emma Frost from the X-Men. We've got Storm from the X-Men. And we've got Supergirl. Okay, so these 3, I think it would be easiest to just match them up by personality types. I'll marry the woman whose personality is most like mine. I would have to say Emma Frost, because she can get pretty snarky, but she is intellectual and logical and all that stuff. So I think she would definitely make the best wife. And yes, I've married another woman who can read my mind, which can be a bit dangerous, but I think she'd still have fun with it. And Storm would be the second most like me, so I would say she would be my mistress, which would also be good times. And, I live in Florida, so I don't really need her to control the weather for me or anything. But, she'd still make good mistress, come down every now and then. Be a little bit awkward when her and Emma get together, but still. And which means that Supergirl is going to end up with the accident. Yes, I'm going to kill off another Kryptonian. Okay, so I would have to be a little bit creative this time. I think the easiest thing to do would be to just wait for her to, find the red power ring, let her become a Red Lantern, and then let Green Lantern deal with her. Yeah, it's these accents are hard to come up with when women are basically immortal. And that was my latest wife, mistress, and accent video. Hope you enjoyed that. So as always, you want to make sure you leave comments, and my pertinent contact information is down in the abyss below. Please comment, rate, subscribe, you know the drill, and if you have any other ideas for me to do these wife, mistress, accident tags, if you want to do your own, please feel free. Like I said, if you have any ideas on what else I could do for these, leave it in the comment below. And, as always, this is I.S. Anderson telling everybody, make your lives grand and have a good day. Thank you very much.